This is what I posted yesterday, and Hannah was in here making sure that everything sounded like it made sense. I think it all made sense. And then Maggie was looking for the answer key. I went ahead and posted it, but she also found it under Mr. Calculus. That's basically the one that I have. In that, he's just really nice as far as having the answer choice and like nice, clear, typed out explanations as to why. The AB one has like a handwritten answer key, but I think his is more detailed than any handwritten answer key. But that's AB. Sorry. Yeah, BC's right down. Los Santos. There we go. Yeah. Saturday? Well, I need to see who's all there first of all. Because if you notice, most of our class just signed up for Wednesday. This is not the pen. There you go. So I just need to hear explanations. Arian, you're going to Bruin Day. Justin, you're going to Bruin Day. Eric, why are you not coming on Saturday? Or did you fly out? Debo, you're not coming Saturday? There's Daniel. You're not coming on Saturday? When do you fly out? When did you guys buy tickets for China? Last month? A long time ago. Issa, what? Okay, so that's the whole few days.
No. Yeah, dude.
Oh, because that's my name on that one.
Oh, you chose.
No, you're good. You put it on Saturday.
You choked, bro.
Can someone text Carrie and can someone text Naomi and ask what day they're signing up as well?
Wait, how many people are on Saturday?
4.
4? No.
Kathy and Hannah, hopefully Naomi and Carrie. No, that's true, except BC has been a huge, huge tool for me being able to grade all these exams ever since my classes exploded. And I only have 4. One person's going to work early, so I only have 3 right now, which means having a Saturday work day is pointless. No, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out life. So, Maggie, to that end, I just don't know. It'd be more beneficial the more people we could have. But if I wait until after spring break when people come back,
What if we did like a meet over break or something? Oh, we're not meeting.
we're going to be in Baja. Monday through Friday, I'll be gone Monday from 4 a.m. to Friday midnight. Saturday, I'm celebrating my mama's birthday almost a month late. All day. Sunday is Easter.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my life. I get absolutely no break. But it's okay.
Aaron,
Yeah, Sunday right after Tuesday.
Because you're only gone for Panther Day, you said?
Yeah.
And that would mean, but still we're missing Daniel, Eric.
We're missing Daniel, Eric, Deepa, James, and Sally. Which our AB classes are a little bit smaller than last year.
I just said tonight I was here.
No, I don't know. My parents are going to Albuquerque on Sunday, so I think I need to drive them to the airport in the morning.
Well, I go to church in the morning, so it wouldn't be a thing anyway. Because those people that aren't available, I'll just use you to help me grade the Wednesday exams. The reason why this is also important, we haven't specifically talked about it just because we got very behind this year. We just finished our content last week. We were supposed to take our mock AP last Saturday. But it's because, remember how the AB kids make video explanations for the solutions of the BC kids make video explanations for the AB FRQs? Usually, during the grading is when I give you your FRQ, your answer key with your partner, and you guys grade that FRQ so you know the mistakes they made and you have the answer key and the question to then go ahead and start building that video. So all of you need this experience in some way, shape, or form, but splitting it over the 2 APs is not actually a horrible idea because then we have video solutions for not only Saturday but also Wednesday's exams. So it's not bad to split you up and to have some people not make grading. The only dilemma is in my mind Right now, I think the only actual break I have this week as far as timing is maybe Thursday night. And that's all the way up until Sunday afternoon, and then that's nothing up until the next Sunday. So I'm just kind of like trying to figure out my body how much it'll keep up.
Update now is Saturday.
Perfect.
And I just texted you. I'm bored.
If we do Sunday, I don't think a Starbucks would work because there's not going to be that much space as far as for all of us. But we could do it in my classroom.
There's a big smart board.
Yeah, I just don't want to make people drive up there. But yeah, there's some really nice ones up there. These ones get really packed.
The Starbucks over here, the one next to school, you can just ask them if you can combine tables and they'll be fine with it.
If they're empty tables, you know what I mean?
It just depends.
There's that nice long table if it's open, but it's not
It just
really
depends
open.
what time of day you go. If you go like early morning, like on a Sunday, if you go like in the afternoon, they close like at 9. If you go like, I want to say like 3 and after or something like that, sometimes you can find like
Good space.
spots. Or if you want to even go later in the afternoon, sometimes
We could always do Panera, but then I feel guilty not buying food. I don't feel guilty at Starbucks.
you can do my house.
On Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, we can do that like that big table.
Yeah, we could do that.
And like move everything off of it.
Okay. Yeah. No, because some people are literally out of the country. That wouldn't be fair. And it's required for you to do one.
So we have to stay in grade either Saturday or Sunday?
No. You have to grade either Sunday or the mock AP is on Wednesday, so then it would be Thursday after school. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So let's do this. We'll do sign-ups tomorrow. I want you guys to ponder either Sunday afternoon, which would be after church, which would be, what should we say, like 2? Does that sound fair for everybody to be able to get lunch and then church and then whatnot? As far as fair? Okay, so we'll do Sunday at 2 at Maggie's house. We'll put it in the BC group chat if that's okay. You're not afraid of people. I mean, most people know where you live anyway. That's one grading session opportunity. And then the next grading session opportunity will be Thursday after the mock AP. So Thursday after the Wednesday, which would be April 25th. Why does that date mean something in my head? Senior extended lunch is that day. That's okay. That's during lunchtime. Okay. There you go. Thursday after school will be the secondary opportunity as far as coming in. And it is required that you do one. Now think about it. How many FRQs do we have total between those 2 days? Yeah, we have 6 and 6. So therefore, that would be 12 total. And 3 of them are shared with BC. Well, that doesn't really make a difference for you guys. So 12 total. And how many kids do we have in the class? Not many more than 12. So therefore, to that end, I'm not exactly sure that we can partner up on this one. But theoretically do them in partners, and you guys just take 2. So I'll give you the option of you doing it by yourself alone on one FRQ, and I'll assign you an FRQ. Depending on which day you come, you'll get assigned an FRQ. I don't think we're going to get more than 6 either day or more than 7 either day anyway to mess us up. But if you decide to do it in partners, you guys will get 2 FRQs to do instead of just 1. Does that make sense? Okay, and what I mean by FRQs, I can show you tomorrow because right now I want to get to questions, although we have a little bit of time, is video explanations of why the solutions are what they are. And with all the technology these days, Georgie did something where he was able to hook like an iPad into his Mac, and he was able to do like a screen recorder, so he was able to work on his Mac as he recorded. Other people have come in and signed up for smartboard sessions, so then they just email me or put on a flash drive their files as far as the answer key, as far as like a PowerPoint, etc. And they just use my smartboard to write solutions, and they take turns like explaining different pieces. Other people are able to use other apps on other tablets, etc., or their computers. So you guys just kind of, over spring break, are thinking, pondering. I mean, you see Patrick JMT, he has a whiteboard. Like, you could have a whiteboard. Even the guy who does the whole, like, calculus in 20 minutes, like, he has a webcam that's on. He has, like, a split screen where he has the question here or a document here, and then he has him working out over here. Like, you can even split screen it. But you can even just be looking at tutors online and how they tutor and say, okay, I think I can do this. Does that make sense? But I will give you paper copies, or I can scan them to you so you have a copy of your question and your solution. I'm obviously not doing it yet because we haven't taken them both yet. But once the first exam is taken, then I can give solutions on Sunday to those people. And even the people who didn't take the exam, it doesn't matter. They have a different exam, so it's not going to mess them up. And then on Wednesday, the one on Thursday, even if you didn't take that exam, it still doesn't matter because you're grading A/Bs anyway. So does that kind of make sense logistically? Why you're doing it besides just me needing help, but also it's helpful for you guys. It's a way of passing it on and learning A/B content better. Cool. Any questions? You can ask me tomorrow. Okay. Whew, thanks for letting me figure that out. I didn't realize Saturday was going to be so lopsided as far as how many can make it, but Sunday does help a lot, and having you guys split up is a good idea too. Okay, to that end, Mr. Calculus, for some reason, oh, there it is, all better. Okay, we have the 2008 AB BC multiple choice exam. You guys were allowed to take 55 minutes on it, true? Took me a while to get there, but there we go, 55 minutes. You guys can go ahead and, I trust you more than AB, or at least I try to, or at least give you more responsibility to treat this well with integrity, I pray. Can you guys go ahead and take and pass around your calculator multiple choice? AB, I wait until they're leaving, so they're not like collaborating, working on it together. Had some AB kids running in as they were taking it yesterday, asking me questions. I'm like, I'm not going to answer questions, you're taking it. But anyway, you guys know what it means to put on a timer and to take it and then go for it. Oh, I gave you my handout, sorry. There you go. On this one, the one that's tonight's homework, guys, put 50 minutes, 5-0. 55 minutes was yesterday's. 55 minutes was the one from last night. 50 minutes, 5-0 is tonight's. I'm curious what you missed. I'm curious what you missed. If you guys haven't graded yet, let's go ahead and go quickly through the solutions. That way you can see it. And those of you guys that have already graded, I think this is BC. Let me double check really quickly. Those of you that have graded, narrowing down which ones you want to ask about. 2008, gracias. Multiple choice. Here we go. Problems 1 through 8. 1 through 8 is BAC. 1 through 3, sorry. BAC, DCA. BAC, DCA. DB. BAC, DCA, DB.
Do you want us to ask questions now or after?
We'll just grade real quick first. Starting in numbers 9, DBA, DBA, DBE, DBA, 9, 10, 11, DBE, 12, 13, 14, DBA, DBB, oh sorry, DBE, 15 through 22, ADB, AAC, number 15 through 17, ADB, number 18 through 20, AAC, 21, 22, A, and then E. A, and then E. 23 through 27, that's an E, right? E, A, B, D, A. You can see them all. E, A, B, D, A. Look at graph. Okay, well, that's good. E, A, B, D, A. And then number 28 is D. Okay, let's start at the beginning and try to go in as much of an order as we can as far as keeping organized. I'm just curious what you missed, and maybe you know why. Starting tomorrow and the next day, you need to access the answer key the night before to at least get the right-wrong grading, just because as you guys can tell, the answer key is super awkward, and I apologize for that. So where are we going? Maggie?
Do you want to tell you what we got wrong? Or
Just start in the beginning. What's the most recent or the quickest, soonest problem that you have a question on? 6? Anything before 6? 2? Anything? Real quick. I would do old-fashioned U sub because if U is x squared, du is 2x.
Okay, I was doing u with the e to the x squared and then...
Oh, gross. As much as is possible. I mean, it could have been an integration by parts, but
I was thinking, I was like, ugh.
yeah, every exponential always start with u being his exponent. And then if that doesn't work, then integration by parts. Number 4?
Never mind about six.
Are you sure? Okay, number 3. Number 3 is a limit problem. If I plug and chug right away, don't I get 0 over 0?
Yeah.
So you have options. Do you really want to do algebra? Hopefully the answer is heck to the no, because L'Hopital's is so much easier. L'Hopital's says, it's still not nice, but wouldn't L'Hopital's get me? Don't worry, it's multiple choice, not long answer. We can just go. Don't I get over 1? But how? Did you product rule it? Second d first ends up being cosine squared of x plus first d second, which will be negative sine squared of x. If you're really snazzy, I guess you can make that cosine of 2x, but either way, just plug and chug. And cosine of 0 is 1, 1 squared is 1, sine of 0 is 0. I end up with dun 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 C. I think it's C. That was for number 3. Number 4, whoop, don't ask me, I don't know. Look at that series. Did it feel more like BC than AB now?
Yeah. I still know what it was asking for, so I saw the solution.
But to some extent, that's how some of these are going to be. Because the wording in AB, a lot of it points to the answer like you know before the multiple choice, but even the concept-y ones in AB, sometimes you have to look at the answers to know what's going on. But they say if the ratio test is applied, so you know you're doing e to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial, right? So to some extent, ratio test, as soon as you see it, you're like, fine, okay, limit as n goes to infinity of e to the n plus 1 all over n plus 1 factorial times n factorial e to the n. Like that's just me doing ratio test, right? It says which of the inequality results implying that the series converges. Well, okay, I guess they're kind of doing an interval of convergence sort of thing. Because they're saying it converges, and if it converges, if the series converges, the ratio had to be less than 1. True? So, okay, that's just kind of like ratio test converges is true, and then you just go through simplifying. So remember, e to the n plus 1 is e times e to the n. Those can reduce. Remember, n plus 1 factorial can be n factorial times n plus 1. It goes here and 1 more, which is why those reduce, and then we end up with. Wait a minute, but don't we still have a limit in front? There we go. The bottom wins, the limit would be 0, but technically they're not even asking that, huh? So they're just asking for, a step to the process. And it's like, okay. Yeah. But do you see how the wording really does lead you to the result?
Yeah.
Just do the ratio test and then convergent. Okay, less than 1. Number 6, Justin said never mind. Did anybody want me to come back here? Okay. Remember, limit, we only have to care about the two sides. Ignore him altogether. Continuous, we need them to match. Differentiable, we take the derivatives. Oh, I didn't know if it was not continuous. Is it not continuous? Because x plus 2, x minus 2 cancels, and then 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is not 1. Yeah, good.
So
5? Huh? Limits have to agree, but either side is the exact same thing. Because 1.9 and 2.1, neither of them look at, they only look at the approach. Number 5. Oh, I'm sorry. Anything before 12? Are you sure? We're headed to 12. Stop me if... Okay. You can still stop me. I can go back. All right, number 12. Oh, why? Why? Wait, you can tell. So that's not guessing if you can tell.
Let me tell you. SAT for this question.
Which of the following converges for all real numbers of x? Well, first of all, kiddos, it's not going to converge if it diverges, right? Now, this says for all real numbers x, so something here converges on only an interval, and we have to be careful of that. But besides that, can't we also watch out for divergence? So why am I going to cross him off right away? Who wins? Factorial is stronger than exponential. Nth term test. He's gone. True? Anybody else? Well, factorial wins. Ooh, who's stronger? X to the n or? Yeah, x to the n. I mean, maybe not for like fractions, but if x is all real numbers, 2, 3, 4, it'll be stronger. That's nth term divergence test. Top wins. Hey, nth term divergence test. Top wins. Hey, nth term divergence test, top wins. But careful, you did the nth term test saying the limit is 0, therefore converge. When we technically know nothing. Did you see all of these diverge? But remember, if the limit is 0, we know nothing. Right? Careful. Careful, careful. If you didn't notice that all the other ones diverge, how could you figure out that letter D converges for all real numbers x? Yeah, I would have done ratio test all the way. In ratio test, you would have had e times e to the n, which is e to the n plus 1. You would have had x times x to the n, x times x to the n plus 1, all over n factorial n plus 1. Oops. And then your e to the n will cancel, your x to the n will cancel, your n factorial will cancel. What are we left with? E x over n plus 1. The limit equals 0, which is always less than 1. I just was lazy. I'll be like Bridget and just like doing the limit. Yeah.
Wait, for A, did you just do like a super quick L'Hopital's in your head, or how did you?
Basically. I saw an exponential function that is going to grow without bound as long as x, I was thinking geo, as long as x is greater than 1, which all real numbers x, it's allowed to be greater than 1. For all ratios greater than 1, it's going to diverge. And then basically L'Hopital's. That one was with the factorial. Yeah. Cool? What else?
Can you do number 14 and just explain why it's not D?
Why it's not D? Polynomial function. Ooh, it's a polynomial, which means it's continuous and differentiable, in case you needed to know that. Because polynomial always has smooth turns. Does that make sense? Smooth turns, no vertical asymptotes. Okay, so continuous, differentiable. Does not look like continuous, but that's okay. Second derivative values. Which of the following statements must be true?
Oh no, never mind. It's first derivative. And yeah, the first derivative has to show the inflection point, right?
No, inflection point is a change in sign of the second derivative, but do I have any clue what's going on at 1/2 or 1.5? Or at 0.9 or 1.1? So couldn't it be possible that in your sign chart, we know for sure in our sign chart of our second derivative, we know that 1 is a critical number.
Yeah.
But couldn't there have been a critical number at 0.9? See what I mean?
Yeah.
So your brain wants to be like, oh, sweet, always positive, 0, always negative, but that's not necessarily true. We just have, thank you, hints. We just have hints as far as what's going on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of? Okay. What else do we have?
15. Mr. Calculus just gets rid of the 2. I got 2 over E, but if the answer's 1 over E, like he just got rid of the 2, and I don't really know how to do it.
He got rid of it?
I don't know what he did.
You get like 2 minus 2 ln of square root e, and then that's 1. So 2 minus 1 over e is 1 over e.
2 minus 1.
Yeah, because ln e is 0.5.
I got 2 over E. I have exactly that. Yeah, but that's Mr. Calculus.
bottom D top minus top D bottom over bottom squared. Those reduce. I shouldn't do that. It's bad notation. Like that?
Yeah, they just
Remember, a number in front of an ln can come up as a power. A square root squared would just be an e, and ln of e is equal to 1. Or you could have made this e to the 1/2 and brought down the 1/2, which would also cancel out the 2.
Can you do
Which one? 18. In the xy plane, the line x plus y equals k is tangent to the graph of y equals x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, and these ones, to be honest, I totally have to just try to translate the math. This is tangent to the graph. So right away, I start thinking of a tangent line. And when I start thinking of a tangent line, I start thinking of, I don't even know, y minus y1 equals f prime of x1 times x minus x1. Or maybe you guys are doing like the y minus f of a equals f prime of a times x minus a. Either way, I have a tangent line. And this one doesn't look like a line unless I rearrange it. Now all of a sudden, okay, if I compare this line with that line, they have to be equal, right? So what I see is, as far as what I know, I see that f prime of a has to equal -1. At which point I could go ahead and say, okay, so 2x plus 3 has to equal -1. So therefore, the x or the a must have been -3, -4 divided by 2, -2, right? So I know that my a is -2. I could plug in my a to y, can't I? F of -2 then would equal 4 minus 6 plus 1, or -2 plus 1, -1. And now I can build. So I can say, okay, knowing all of this information, I can say y minus -1, 1, x plus 2. Just from seeing that my slope was -1, setting it equal to the derivative, finding my x, plugging in to find my y, I can say I know what the tangent line should be. So who's k? Well, let me tell you. Hold on. Y plus 1 is equal to -x minus 2. I subtract the 1. Y equals -x minus 3. -3. Too many people, I think, get stuck on the k thinking they should be able to go straight there instead of just doing what they know and seeing if it works out. Does that make sense, kind of? Kind of like the ratio test, too. Like, do what you know and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Well, hold on. It's okay. Just, do you notice the pattern, though?
Yeah, I noticed that. I just didn't know what.
So if you notice the pattern, think of your special Maclaurens. Who is that? Right? Isn't that E? So if I know it's E, then all I have to think about is what's X? So if I plug in, good, 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 but where else can I plug in? If they're saying, what is the sum? I know your brain is like, geo, a1 over 1 minus r, but this isn't a geo. If it was, right? If it was the rational, I guess we could call it a geo and do a1 over 1 minus r. It's not telescoping, so we can't do that. How else can we do a sum? They're going to use this because, guys, literally, it is the sum. The whole sum equals this. You can just go with what you know. Oh, my goodness. I think the last 3 questions have been that. Go with what you know and see what happens. Is that cool? Go with what you know and see what happens. But you're learning this terminology. Some of you might need to highlight what is the sum, and literally you're just doing a special Maclaurin. Like, it's not a bad idea to teach your brain. You're not used to some of this wording. But we saw it in homework, and you didn't like it then either. So it's not totally like new or weird. You're just still getting used to it. I missed Justin 22. Well, don't you see your U in your DV? If you see an F prime and if you see a G, I know it's weird because they're using F's and G's, but it relates to U and V, right? Because what is integration by parts? U dV is equal to... Now, I know we don't necessarily do it that way all the time, but maybe it's the thing where your brain needs to have the integration by parts formula down so that you can look at something and say, F and G, they're different. Exactly. They're different. That's the point. So what I put into the U spot, well, I don't know. He's the one that doesn't look like a derivative. dV, maybe it's f prime of x dx, right? Differentials come from derivatives. They're like in our chain rule or in our multiplication, it's like the u prime. Well, yeah, but this one it's the u prime of a v, so it's v prime. Look for what looks to be a derivative, look for what doesn't look to be a derivative, and then say, okay, here we go. Who's u? Well, g. Who's v? Well, f, right? Going back from dv to v, minus the integral, who's v? Well, that was f. And who's du? Oh, did I go the other way? Confucius say? Oh, I went the wrong way. You should have looked at their clues. Usually I just did totally look at the clues. No. I'm okay though. Check it. If I do it this way, can't I rewrite this as g times f prime of x dx is equal to g times f minus... Whatever order you do it, you're going to have one place and one another place. Yeah, so can't I just take him and plug him in here, right? So that's going to be 5 equals, and then can't I go find... Oh, I'm going from 0 to 1. No, I forgot the definite integral part. Well, that's lame. 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Isn't this guy going to be 0 to 1? So I can just plug in 5 there. I'm solving for him here. All I have to do is plug in g of 1 f of 1 minus g of 0 f of 0. Does that make sense?
Can you do that?
Yeah. So 5 is equal to, oh, sorry, times, right? F of 1, uv, f of b minus f of a, minus the integral 0 to 1 of what they're trying to have me find. So then according to my table, oh, sorry, my table's up here.
Why are you integrating? Why are you doing like the 1 to 0 instead of just plugging in 1?
Oh, because it's a definite integral. Yeah. When you have a's and b's, it's technically all of this is from a to b. So if you were to have your whole antiderivative, right, you would have plugged in a or b everywhere minus plugged in a everywhere. So in my table, I would have gotten g of 1 is 3, f of 1 is 4, minus g of 0 is negative 4 and 2. So then 12 plus 8 is 20. Subtracted to the other side is negative 15 divided by negative 15.
Yeah.
Got him, coach. We have time for probably one more. There's something else that's burning?
Like, I mean, like, I saw the answer key. I don't even know. Like, my first instinct.
Vectors, parametric. You guys see vectors parametric, right? XY plane, dx dt, dy dt. Moving along a parabola. Still have a little bit of time. Constant speed of. Isn't speed something in parametric having to do with x prime squared plus y prime squared? Can't we actually take dy dt is equal to 2x dx dt minus 1? Well, I guess I could have done all of that dx dt, right? So then if I find dy dt, I would have solved for dx dt equals dy dt all over 2x minus 1. Oh, at the point. Sweet, they give me that?
So you just do like dx dt squared plus dy dt squared, you just 4d, because you just squared the other
Yeah,
side.
square both sides.
Yeah.
4 and 10 is 40. And then you can plug in what you know. Sorry, I should have done that up here. I didn't see the point. So that'd be 2 times 2 is 4 minus 1 is 3. Dx dt. You're trying to find dy dt. Don't get rid of him. Get rid of the other guy. So I could 1/3 dy dt squared plus dy dt squared. So wouldn't that be 1/9 dy dt squared plus 1 dy dt squared? So 1 plus 1/9 would be 10/9 dy dt squared. Solve, kid. Solve, and then you got it. Okay, we can go over maybe a couple more questions, but now you guys know to go ahead and try the calculator, 50 minutes with your calculator. Check the answer key in Google Classroom. It should be there for Mr. Calculus for everybody. And then come tomorrow with questions a bit more narrowed down. Sound good? All right. Bye, guys.